Hi everyone, I'm Evangeline right here at eTrailer. Since every bike rack fits every vehicle differently, we're going to focus here today on how the Hollywood Rack's Destination 4 bike fits on the 2025 Nissan Kicks. Now the owner of this vehicle actually got a 2-inch hitch receiver installed here at eTrailer because he wanted to carry around bikes. So that is something that you are going to need first for your vehicle if you need help finding a custom fit hitch or wiring, not that you need it for this rack, we can help you out with that. Now with that loaded into that hitch receiver, we now have this whole thing set up, very good clearances all throughout. The bike closest to the vehicle has plenty of space even with our longer handlebars, and with how high it sits up, we have plenty of ground clearance, so I'm not worried about speed bumps or anything like that. Now you do have a 35-pound weight capacity with this rack, so hopefully you're not planning on carrying around extra heavy electric bikes. If you are, we do have some other options for that here at eTrailer. Your bikes will be held in by 3 touch points. 1 and 2 are going to be your wheel straps, where when you load your bike up, you'll have the strap go over the wheel and tighten down, making sure that that rubber cover sits on your rim. To take your bike off, you press the lever and remove the strap, making sure it doesn't get caught up in the spokes. The same thing is going to be done for your rear wheel strap. And this angle design of the carrier means that no matter what type of bike you have, it should be good. Now, the third touch point is going to be our frame mount. Notice how low this frame mount sits. That makes it helpful for your different bikes of different shapes and sizes. And you have a large rotation of that mount so that you can put it along your frame in whatever spot is most convenient. Now the height of that mast is helpful too, because when you need to take your bike off, you don't have to lift your bike as high up to get up and over and then off of the rack. Now, loading your bike up on that closest cradle is probably going to be the most difficult cradle to load up on, so anything to help that process out is helpful. So if you needed access into your cargo area, that is something to be mindful of. You do have to remove your bike to get in there, since this rack does not tilt away. Now, something I've noticed a lot of people get confused about is the mast, and that's because there is a bracket here that's important for keeping this mast in the upright position. When you are ready to move this bike rack into a more compact position, you have to remove this bracket. So do that by loosening this knob here, then you can lift this bracket over. Then I like to tighten the knob back down just so that it doesn't rattle around as much. Then I can bring this mast down, and sometimes I just secure it with a cradle strap, or I could use the frame strap, and that prevents it from bouncing up and down as you drive. So this is just a little extra touch point that most bike racks do not have, so I understand that it could be forgotten sometimes. While this is probably one of the most compact 4-bike racks, it still does take up some space behind your vehicle. So if you measure from your plastic bumper here to the end of the rack, that's about 40 inches of space. There are little reflectors at the end, which will be helpful if you are carrying around bikes at night, but just be mindful that there is more room that you have to account for when you park in your garage or into a tight spot. Ground clearance wise, end of the rack to the ground is about 19 inches here. Center rack to the ground is about 23 inches here. So I'm not worried at all about potholes or speed bumps, things like that. Plenty of clearance there, but just a little bit of height that you are going to have to lift your bike up and onto the rack. To make this bike rack more compact, there is a clip and this bolt here that you do have to remove in order to lift the rack up against the vehicle. So once this is folded up like that, you can go ahead and put that bolt and then that clip back in to secure it. And this is gonna be also how you would store your bike rack in your garage so that it takes up less space. Now, compared to, 40 inches from earlier, from the bumper to the end of the bike rack, it's only 13 inches or a little over a foot. Big difference compared to earlier. This takes up so much less space, plus there's so much room between the bike rack and the car. And for all of the cars behind you or the people behind you, this is what they are going to see. This sits up right around where your windshield wiper is, so full visibility of your window. Now your lights are kind of covered but still visible to the side of the bike rack. Your backup camera sits in this opening here, so you are going to be able to see if there's any people or vehicles behind you, but it will be slightly obstructed. Same with your license plate. So if you are looking for a very compact bike rack that's still able to carry around 4 bikes, this is a pretty good fit here on our Kicks. Now do remember it does have a 35-pound weight capacity, so you do have some other options out there if you want to carry up to 4 bikes, but you need a little bit more capacity. An interesting option would be the Thule Revert, which is a vertical rack that can carry up to 4 or up to 6 bikes and still maintains about the same amount of distance behind the Kicks that you get with the Destination. Or you could check out some of the heftier, beefier, but also larger 4-bike carriers. We have plenty of those here at eTrailer. Feel free to give us a call at any point if you're looking for suggestions. But today what you saw was a look at the Hollywood Rack's Destination 4 and how it fits on the 2025 Nissan Kicks.